opinion, John, if one seeks gratitude versus desire, what are the effects of that?
Well, desire comes from Latin desire, of the Father. So the fact that we have this feeling of something that we desire, is that selfish, or is that the universe expressing itself through you? So I don't have any challenge with having desires. I love to have desires. If I have desires that make me feel good, if I have desires that contribute to the lives of others, if I have desires to create and that I'm expressing versus suppressing, I think that's a healthy thing to have. I think there's a difference for me between having these desires and allowing them to express themselves through me, not from a lack of anything, but from an expression of love, expression of my soul and my being. I think it fuels people. I think, what are your desires? What do you want to trade your life for? Because you're trading your life every day. So is the trade worth it?
That's a great evaluation method.
Most people ask themselves, is the goal, is what I'm pursuing, am I worthy of that? And I learned 30 years ago, is that goal worthy of my life? Is this interview worthy of the time I'm investing with you? I had a choice to make.
Absolutely.
Yes or no. And I said, okay, who's it going to help? Who can maybe hear one word that it can inspire, that will put a smile on their face? They'll give them a window, a little tiny window of hope. Say, you know what? Maybe my life doesn't suck. Maybe I have much to be grateful for. Maybe being above ground today is better than the person who just died. Maybe I can smile a little bit more. Maybe I could make somebody else's life a little bit better. And I learned this. Number one, you never know who's going to be watching. You never know whose life you might save. You never know whose life they might save. You never know who was about to hit a child and says, you know what, I'm going to stop that. You never, ever know. And I also want to make sure that, I can contribute. And so if I can contribute, I'm paying back the mentors who contributed to me.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Right? So they didn't get paid monetary, they got paid psychically. I get paid psychically. And I'm doing my part of, the human race of contribution and giving back.
Let's just think about this for a minute. I loved what you just said, John. Maybe versus what if. Think about just that alone. Maybe this could happen. Maybe that could happen. That's a hope word.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Most people, what's interesting, if you do any research on people who commit suicide, one of the reasons people commit suicide is because they believe that they'll be in less pain, killing themselves, than the pain they're experiencing at the moment. So maybe, if somebody right now is about to do something, or if somebody right now is not about to do something that they want to, maybe, if they hear this, it gives them one smile. It gives them one, you know what, I'm going to try it again. I'm going to call my wife, my husband, my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, my child, and say, I love you. I'm sorry. Or you know what, I need you. I want you in my life. Something. If there's any way that I can contribute my life to make another person's life just a little bit better to live, I'm all in.
You're all about
I'm all in.
Do you view life from a maybe point of view, or do you view life as is? Are you a person who sees the big picture always, or do you flow in and out?
I flow in and out. I see the big picture. I get caught in the day-to-day details. I do things that I go, right? Then I do brilliant things. And I have a good humor about it. I've really learned from my teachers and, a philosophy of life that so far is serving me well. And I've had some phenomenal highs, and I've had some wonderful challenges. And I've learned through all of them. As I sit here right now, there are some real challenging things going on in my life.
What is your greatest challenge in your life, John?
Right now, the new company that I'm building right now made some tactical and strategic errors in the last 12 months. that cost me millions of dollars. And so now I'm rethinking through some of that, re-strategizing. People got hurt along the way. And so I'm just in the, not actually in the middle of it, towards the end of it. It was very, very challenging, very, very humbling. When, everything I've done in the past has just been like, gold, 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 gold across the way. Now I'm like, wow, okay, we got some challenges here that haven't shown up before. And so I'm looking at those things. I'm exploring them. I'm asking for help more than I've ever asked in my life before. And I'm grateful for it. I'm not in no anger, no shame, no guilt, none of that. I felt some of that. I said, okay, great. Like, what are the lessons for me here? And the lessons are so phenomenal and so grand. Whenever I've lost money, for example, I always say, I've never lost money. It's just in God's bank again. That's where it came from. And it usually has collected great interest there. And so from a financial perspective, I took a huge hit with the stock market and some of the other things I did. So what am I going to do about it?
For you to be able to chunk down, because that's heavy. That is a very big challenge in life.
Sure.
For you to be able to chunk it down to a point of acceptance and as-ising it and moving forward, do you ask why? How do you go through the process then of not getting angry? And do you believe that somewhere along the line you asked for it to happen, that you created it? Give me, kind of some feedback on it.
Life is a series of lessons. And when you've learned a whole bunch of lessons, God gives you more. And what most people don't get or understand is some of them aren't to your taste. But everything just is. And I've learned to give everything that happens in my life, good or challenging, a meaning that serves me. So in going through some of the stuff I've been going through, I'm learning more about empathy. I'm learning more about what people are feeling out there. The person who's lost $10 feels the exact ways I feel losing millions. The errors in judgment that I've made is no different than the errors in judgment somebody's made with their milkman. And so it's all relative and it's all relevant. And so I look at it as experiences and lessons, and I'm prepared to learn. I'm prepared to feel what's associated with the negative feelings of the challenges and just be okay with it. And not change it.
What do you mean by not change it? Tell me that.
Well, there isn't anything I can do about any of the experiences of the past except the meaning that I give them. So if I give everything that's occurred a meaning that serves me, then it serves me. And if I believe in a higher order of the universe that's always perfect, working on time, every time, omnipresent, omnipotent, no accidents, precision universe, with an intelligent universe that knows everything, my deepest, darkest thoughts and secrets and insecurities, if there is a universe out there that knows this, an intelligence, and there is in my world, then it knows exactly what's going on for my betterment, for my spiritual expansion. It may not be to my taste, okay, but running 15 miles wasn't either at one point, right? But the result is what I liked. And so I really go with the flow for myself. And I go through the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys, the goods and the challenging times, and learn. And then guess what? Next.
So do you believe in mistakes? Do you believe in right or wrong? Or do you believe in learns all the way along?
Yes, yes, and yes. I believe in mistakes. I believe in right and wrong. But even right and wrong is a judgment. Okay, but I do believe in it. I think in the physical world it'll serve us. If there wasn't any right or wrong that were man-made judgments, I think there'd be a lot more chaos than there is right now. So I believe it works for a person who wants to learn and use their life and the life of others as a playground. Then guess what? We can have so much fun. I mean, think about this. Imagine if you went to bed at night and in your dream you had all the money in the world. And in your dream you were the most beautiful woman in the world, which you are. And I'm the most, in your dream, so you've got the best sex, the nicest cars, the best jets, and every night, right, the dream was the same every night. And so after 3 or 4 weeks you go, wow, okay, can we like do something a little different? And so on the 31st night, or the first of the next month, you'd go, let's throw a little bit of something into this. That's what God's already done.
Fantastic.
God's already thrown a few things into it. Say, hey, what about this? Hey, what about that? Here's this error in judgment. Here's this one. Here's some great highs. Here's some great lows. And experience the joy of life.